right, guys, all week long, we're giving you money-saving tips from some of our favorite experts. We partner with Capital One for Common Sense Finance Week. And this morning, we're kicking things off with how to save big at the grocery store with editor-in-chief of Cooks Illustrated and test cook for America's Test Kitchen, Dan Souza.
Dan, hello.
Good to see you, Dan. All right, where do we start, Dan?
So we're actually going to start, and you're joking, but we're going to start with frozen versus fresh. Now, frozen food can have a real stigma. Frozen food is so good nowadays. The processes are really, really good. And so you can save a lot of money as well. So we got fresh tilapia. That's about $8 a pound. We're looking at less than $6 for the frozen.
So what do they Freeze it immediately?
Flash
so a lot
very, very fast. Freeze. Yeah, exactly. So small ice crystals. So when it thaws out, it's really nice too.
Yeah.
So that's a great option. It's always in the freezer, so you can, pull it out whenever. And there's no pressure. You don't have to cook that like the day that you get it. Which is really, really nice.
Because people waste a lot of fish because they buy it and then they get busy and then the next thing you know, it's 2-day-old fish.
Exactly. And the same thing with vegetables. So we've got spinach here, and we're looking at, about $4 and $2, but you're getting twice as much with the frozen. So that's an awesome one. Peas are a really interesting one. You guys know the season for fresh peas is like what? It's like 3 days in the spring.
6 minutes
Yeah,
long.
It's so short when they're sweet and not starchy. So the frozen, they pick them when they're fresh and then freeze them. These are a better option 95% of the time anyway, and they're a lot cheaper. So you're getting more for your money and a really good product. So the next thing, we got to talk about food waste. Food waste is a huge problem in the U.S. Americans waste on average about 25% of the food that they buy. Some estimates up to 30%. So it's a huge problem. It's bad for the environment, and it's really bad for your wallet as well. So buying in bulk is a place where a lot of people go wrong. It seems like a great idea. And if you're buying something like spaghetti, fabulous. Dried goods that you can store.
Yeah, because you can store it, right.
Yep, that's really awesome. Frozen food like shrimp. 90% of the shrimp that you buy at the supermarket was already frozen, and they've thawed it out for you, and you don't know how long it sat there. So you're much better off always buying frozen shrimp.
It didn't go through the extra step yet.
Exactly, and you do it at home, you pull out exactly what you need. Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
So that's a really good one. 2 pounds, this is like 16 bucks bulk and probably over 20 pounds grocery. So these are some good bulk items.
Okay.
And then we're talking about building a modern pantry, right? So quick weeknight meals, really, really flavorful. It starts with having great stuff on hand, like all of your beans, your legumes, your rices, and your grains, whether they're dried or in cans. So you have all of that, you've got good stuff in the freezer. When you go to the supermarket, you're buying some fresh herbs, some citrus, all the stuff that really livens up your meals, but you've got this core stuff at home, so you're not ordering out last minute because you don't think you have the things like that. So
okay, let's get a break. We'll come back, more tips about the grocery store right after this, but that's good. You're buying the flavor. Okay.
We're back with more ways to save at the grocery store. These
One
are
way to save
great
is eat the office nuts right here.
Yes, the office nuts,
right here.
right.
Exactly. So we've done a lot in terms of shopping and getting stuff into your pantry, but getting it at home and how you store it makes a huge, huge impact. So the fridge is a really interesting thing. Everyone thinks it's one temperature. The door and where you're opening a lot is much warmer than the inside of the fridge.
Right.
So you have the fridge that has the little egg divots. Ignore it. Throw these in the back of your fridge where it's coldest. You can keep eggs like this for at least a couple of months, if not more, nice and cold like that. Okay. We're talking about freezing too. Freezing is really important. So buy a pound of butter, 3 of the sticks go in the freezer, only 1 is out at a time. So you use that up. Rancidity is a big problem, and the freezer really halts that. And the same thing with nuts. Nuts and whole grains that have a lot of the germ and the fat still in them, gotta store them in the freezer. They'll last They'll last much, much longer. And then we're talking about herbs. Everyone hates wasting herbs. You want to have fresh herbs on hand, but they're so expensive. If you can buy basil or cilantro with the roots on, go for it. You can stand up in water like this, and it's essentially a live plant, so you can keep it going longer.
And it's pretty.
And it's beautiful. And basil, interestingly, is actually better at room temperature than in your fridge. So store it on the counter.
It smells good, too.
It smells good. Apples, you can't chill them too much, really. So coldest part of your fridge, you're looking at least a month with these.
Yum.
Okay.
So we've done all that great shopping.
It's like a big meal here.
Big meal here. So it's all about finally putting on the food on the table here. And you can do a lot with a little. So we've got some frozen chicken here to make these beautiful breaded chicken cutlets. A little bit of bread, whether it's stale bread or something out of the freezer. This is about $25 for a family of 5, along with these beautiful sauteed peas.
The peas look incredible.
Right?
With a mint leaf on top,
yep.
see?
Yeah, exactly. And there's some shallot and some lemon juice and stuff in there. Really, really cheap. So I love this kind of thing.
And that fills you up.
And it fills you up, exactly.
You can eat that whole bowl, and it's kind of guilt-free, isn't it?
These are great. These are heaven.
Well done. Great tips.
Thanks so much.
We learned a lot.
Thank you.
For all these tips, you can go to kellyandryan.com and check out Dan's book, The Complete Modern Pantry. 350-plus ways to cook well with what's on hand. Available for pre-order right now. We'll be right back.
I'm going to pre-order that right now.
Yeah, it's a really great book.